I seek, I am. What I want to know, I understand. Oh, I wish I could.
Good morning, ladies. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am listening to a India Ari this morning. One of my favorite songs that she has out, I Am. Woo, I love this song. I have my playlist that I listen to every morning to get me in the right mindset, to get me vibing high so I can start my day powerfully. And I want to welcome you to the Dunn Wisdom Morning Show. My name is Melissa P. Dunn. I am the CEO of MD Marketing Network and the founder of this Dunn Wisdom movement. I invite you to grab a beverage, to grab a cup of coffee, or depending on where you are in the world, a glass of wine, right? It might be 2 o'clock or 5 o'clock, wherever you're living in. But I'm drinking coffee this morning in my, I don't know if you can see that, in my Stay Fabulous cup. Suzanne McDowell actually gave this to me a couple of years ago. Anyways, today we're going to have a conversation, ladies. We're going to have a conversation, one that I had with myself when I started my business, 8 years ago. Wow. So today we are going to talk about leaping into entrepreneurship from corporate America and doing it without fear, doing it without feeling overwhelmed, without worry. You know, a lot of us dream about starting a business. And the truth is, you will never, ever, ever achieve financial freedom working for somebody else. That's just the facts, right? In order for you to create generational wealth, entrepreneurship should be considered one of the many ways that you get multiple streams of income. Working for one person, having one stream of income is not going to do it. So I invite you to watch this show with an open mind, watch this show with an open heart. And I'm really speaking specifically to those women who dream about starting their business, but they haven't taken action on it yet. Now, if you are already an entrepreneur, I think that some of the tips I'm going to share today is going to serve you as well. And if entrepreneurship is not something you're going to consider, then, you know, how can you apply some of these tips to your current job, maybe for your next promotion? And so today, let's dive right in. So this is one of my favorite coaches, Marie Folio. She is like an amazing, amazing coach. And she says the key to success is to start before you're ready. And that's really the premise of what I'm going to teach you today. Take the leap. Get going. Now, I remember when I was, you know, actually, come to think of it, entrepreneurship was really never something that I dreamed about. So when I grew up in Jamaica, my grandmother was an entrepreneur. Her name was Princess Dunn. She had a shop, right? And I remember a couple of years ago when I had the pleasure of taking care of her, or helping to take care of her during her last years, she shared with me this story of how she got started in entrepreneurship. And when you have 10 kids, you got to figure out multiple ways to get money to come in. And I remember being a young girl working in my grandmother's shop, helping to serve customers, helping to stock the shop. But I never really saw myself as an entrepreneur. I only saw myself I knew I was going to be successful. You know, I knew that I was destined to do something really great with my life, but I didn't necessarily see myself as an elected official. That wasn't on my vision board for my life. Being an elected official, being an entrepreneur wasn't something that I said I was going to do. I just knew that I was going to be successful. In fact, I remember at one point thinking that maybe I was going to be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, right? That was kind of what I thought about. And I remember working for Florida Medical Center. You know, I had gone back to school, gotten my MBA, started working for a local hospital as a marketing director, and loved my CEO, but really wanted to be in a different type of corporate culture. Applied for a job to be the marketing director for Brooklyn Hospital, thinking I'm going to move back to New York, y'all. Got the job offer, gave my resignation, and then literally weeks before I was scheduled to leave to go to New York, they rescinded the offer and it just disappeared out of thin air. And I'd already quit my job. So that's what really kind of made me decide to maybe start a business. And it wasn't even my original idea. Suzanne McDowell, I remember I was working part-time at Circle of One Marketing to kind of get some extra cash in while I figured out looking for a job, right? And I remember going into Suzanne's office and she said to me, listen, why are you looking for a job, Melissa? Start your own business. And that's exactly how MD Marketing Network came to be. So when I tell you that I wasn't thinking about entrepreneurship, I mean, I wasn't thinking about entrepreneurship. Sometimes the dream that you have for yourself is nothing compared to the dream that God has for you. So I can tell you right now that the life that I'm living, being an elected official, being an entrepreneur of MD Marketing Network and this Dunn Wisdom movement was not something that I planned, but it's something that God had planned for me. So I am fantastically pleased. Listen, I want you guys to type in the chat, be a part of the show. I see that there's a woman from my Women Getting It Done Facebook group that's watching. And she's saying, listen, you got to earn your income from passive income. That is so true. Type in your name. Let me know who it is that's watching. Hey, Miss Joy, good to see you. Good morning to you. Good morning. If you're watching from the Women's Getting It Done Facebook group, please type in your name so I know who it is that we're talking to. All right. So love this quote from Marie. She is really amazing. So some data. 11.6 million firms are owned by women. These firms generate over $1.7 trillion. Let me say that again, $1 trillion in sales. This is revenue from women-owned businesses. And they employ nearly 9 million people, all right? And 39% of all privately held firms in the United States are ran by women. Okay, Miss Yannick Da Costa from Jamaica. Yes, Yannick. Good to see you, my love. Now, this right here, Yannick is another one of those serial entrepreneurs. She is one lady that knows how to make sure that she's getting the bag from multiple streams of income. Good to see you, Monique. Yannick, thanks for watching the show. All right, so here are some tips that I'm going to share with you. I'm going to share with you 4 tips that women or men can use to leap into entrepreneurship. Tip number one, y'all. Learn about your mindset, habits, and vision. Now is the time. While you are working, while you have a secure, steady paycheck, this is the time for you to do the work. Listen, there's a special type of person that can do entrepreneurship. It's not for everybody, truth be told. If you're the type of person that have the work ethic of an ant, this might not be for you. You might just need to stay in your job and collect your regular paycheck every day because it might not just be for you. But if your work ethic is on point where you know that you have to do what you say you're going to do, when you say you're going to do it, because if you don't, you're not going to get paid. And if you don't get paid, you can't make payroll. All right, then entrepreneurship might be for you. If you are the type of person that knows how to lead teams, that know how to look at a problem analytically and come up with solutions, that entrepreneurship might be for you. So I want you to think about your mindset, right? Learn about yourself. How do you think? How do you see the world? How do you feel? Are you, maybe you have some challenges that you've got to work through before you take on what could be a stressful transition into entrepreneurship, right? So learn about your mindset, learn about your habits, learn about the mindset and habits of successful CEOs. Successful CEOs have powerful morning routines. They get up on time. right? Now, they learn how to manage their commitments. They learn how to manage their energy so that they work smarter and not hard. They know how to take care of themselves, right? So you've got to really learn about who you are. Get clear about your vision. Get clear about your not only your vision for your life, but your vision for what entrepreneurship could look like for you, right? Look, Yannick says she's been up since 6 a.m. Listen, Yannick, listen, I've been up since 4, okay, girl? I had an RFP that had to be submitted today. So, but that's just the way it rolls, right? As an entrepreneur, you've got to really be clear about who you are, clear about your habits, clear about what you bring to the table. And if there is something in your mindset that doesn't serve you, if you have habits that don't set you up to win, if your vision is not clear, now is the time to work on that. Now is the time for you to refine all of that so that in essence, by the time you become an entrepreneur, you do it from a space of confidence. You do it from a space of ease. You do it from a space of grace. You do it from a space where you are defining your self-worth. Because let me tell you, if you allow others to define your worth for you, if you allow your worth to come from external circumstances, then you are going to be challenged as an entrepreneur. You really are. Because people will say no to you. That's part of the process. You will hear no. People will negotiate on your price. That's part of the process. So you've got to take the time right now while you're working for somebody else to refine all of those things. Do the inner work so that you are ready and prepared to step into your greatness, to step into your success. Hey, Dr. Gray, thank you for watching. Good morning to you. So that's really my first bit of advice to you ladies. If you're thinking about entrepreneurship, take the time right now to do the inner work. Learn about your mindset, your habits, and your vision, and clarify them. Make changes. Set yourself up to win because you deserve it. You deserve to have the life or the business of your dream, right? The next piece of advice that I want to give you, the next tip is to explore. Explore your idea so that you are clear about your customer, you're clear about the problem you are solving, and you're clear about the value you're bringing to the table, right? This part right here is so important, ladies. It's so important for you to take the time while you are getting a steady paycheck to get clear about everything, right? One of the things that I walk the women through in my Manifest 90 program is we actually get clear about your core values, the things that's important to you. And then in essence, your core values as a person will translate into your business. So my core value, for example, I value impact. I value being of service, right? So for me at MD Marketing Network, we are clear that we only do business with individuals that are socially conscious. I'm just clear about that. With socially conscious individuals, socially conscious organizations, and I only work on projects that I feel align with my core values, meaning that the projects transform lives, impact communities, and I said that backwards. That the projects transform lives, impact communities, and advance global understanding. That's my personal core values, right? So when I work on a project for a coaching client or for a marketing client, those projects have to align with that core values. So I came to the understanding of what my core values were because I took the time to explore those values. I took the time to explore my idea, to get clear about who my customer is. For MD Marketing Network, I'm clear that my customer is a nonprofit, a government entity, or a socially responsible organization that's committed to having a positive impact in the world, that's committed to doing good and making money, right? I'm clear about that. For Dunn Wisdom, I'm clear that I'm working with women who are ambitious with an entrepreneurial mindset. I'm clear about that. Women who want more for their lives, women who are ready to really manifest the life or business of their dream. I'm clear about that. So my encouragement for you, if you're thinking about leaping from corporate America into entrepreneurship while you have a steady paycheck, all right, while your boss, while your boss is your investor, I encourage you to take that time to explore your ideas. Do some market research. Come up with your most valuable, your MVP. Come up with your most valuable customer, your most viable product, right? Test it out. Come up with your messaging. Write your business plan. Get your financials in order. Create your marketing strategy. Launch a beta project. Launch a beta version of your course while you're working for somebody else, while your boss is your investor. That's how you take the fear and overwhelm out of entrepreneurship. That's how you take the fear and worry and anxiety out of leaping into entrepreneurship from corporate America. A lot of times people just go without a plan. The first year that you're in business, you guys, you're trying to figure it out. So why not figure it out on somebody else's dime? Figure it out on somebody else's dime. All right, listen, you're saying amen, amen, amen. I love it. Figure it out on somebody else's dime. Now is the time, okay? So that is my suggestion for, that's my tip number 2, okay? Explore your idea so that you can learn about your customer, the problem you're solving, and the value that you bring. My third suggestion is to align with source. This part right here, you guys, is so important. Align with source so that you may leverage the Manifest 90 creation process to work for you instead of against you. So this step number 3 is actually something that I learned late in the process. And do you know when I started to really practice this full-fledged was once I got certified as a coach, really during the pandemic. I used to, I've always prayed. I've always had a powerful morning routine, but not consistently. And during the pandemic, especially while I was running for office, it became really clear to me that the way for me to manage stress, the way for me to show up powerfully in the world is through my practice of mindfulness, which helps me to align with source. It helps me to be so connected. And for me, I call source God. For me, I know that my abundance does not come from man. My abundance comes from source, right? So in that case, then my abundance is limitless. It doesn't depend on a client paying me a check. It doesn't depend on a customer giving me the price that I want on a contract. It doesn't come from man. It comes from source, which I am connected to, I am aligned to, and it is limitless. Therefore, because I am one and connected and aligned with source, and source is limitless, then so am I. And once I got this, I have a abundance infusion practice that I do. Some of you who are watching right now have already signed up for like the free 7-day version that I do. But in my Manifest 90 course, I do like a full-fledged 40-day abundance infusion practice with the women in the class. And let me tell you, it is life-changing. It has changed my life in so many ways. I remember a time in 2016, when I actually leaped fully from working part-time at Circle of One to getting into to starting MD Marketing Network full-time, right? Because I started the company on January 31st, 2014. I remember that day so well. And I remember when I decided to leave my part-time job and focus on the business full-time, I remember feeling secure because I had done the work. I had, been doing the business part-time while working for somebody else part-time. I had a contract with 2 great accounts that was paying me. I'm now making my little $8,000 a month. It was fantastic. And then I remember, fast forward now to 2016, when I had to fire one of those clients. It was the hardest thing ever. So coming from a person that had just experienced homelessness, being, housing insecure, it was hard. It was hard. The thought of not having that client really threw me for a loop. And I remember the fear coming back up. I remember the anxiety coming back up. And back then, I wasn't practicing the tool of alignment the way that I am now. And so it was really, really hard for me in 2016. And practicing right now, then the pandemic hits. And I go from having a full team, I go from having multiple accounts, to all of a sudden bringing in literally less than $1,000 a month. It was hard, just as it was hard for a lot of other families, right? But the only and at the time I was running for office. So I'm out there on the campaign trail, you guys, campaigning, asking people to vote for me. And, the people in my 7-figure mastermind class are putting money together to help me pay my rent. This is just recently. That's how much the pandemic affected my business. But I can tell you this, I was happy. Why? Because I was aligned with source. I had some tools that I was using that kept me so connected that when the world around me went crazy, I was still and calm inside. I was anchored. I was deeply rooted. I had the tools. I had the mindset. I had the practices that allowed me to bloom from the inside out. And as a result, I'm telling you, client after client after client, not even client after client, because the same client stuck with me throughout the pandemic. And I don't remember ever going out looking for new business, but business came to me. It just came like that. Project. And it came at a pace that allowed me to focus on being a vice mayor, learning that job really well, and still being able to provide for myself, still being able to maybe bring back 1 or 2 members of my team on a part-time basis, and really allowed me to thrive. It's just now, 2 years later, that I'm saying, okay, now it's time for me to start looking for new business. That's what being aligned with source and being connected can do for you. And I am speaking from personal experience, y'all. This is my testimony. This part right here, leveraging the Manifest 90 creation process, which again, the process is that your thoughts inspire, your thoughts trigger your emotions inspire your actions, and your actions produce your results. So leveraging this process, being aligned with source, is the secret to being stress-free in entrepreneurship. Not to say that stress is not going to come, because it is. It's a part of the process, right? But you'll have the tools that you need in order for you to do it with ease and grace. This is a game changer for me. And I didn't really start putting this into practice fully until 2020. So the final step that I'm going to share with you today: plan and begin executing that plan while you're working your day job. Make your boss your investor. I learned this tip from Lisa. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on her name. From The Secret. Oh man, I'm drawing a blank on her name. What? I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on her name. Where is her book? That's going to make me crazy now. Oh, here we go. Lisa Nichols. I learned that tip from Lisa Nichols. Make your boss your investor. Make your boss your investor. So while you have that day job, while you have that steady paycheck, put yourself in a position so that you can execute this strategy, right? So that you can execute this strategy, so that you can leap, so that you can learn about your habits, your mindset, your vision, so that you can get clear on all those things, so that you may explore, your business idea, explore your customers, create your most viable product offering, so that you may get clear about all of that. And then align with source, develop a spiritual practice that keeps you anchored, that keeps you connected to source, so that when the ups and downs of entrepreneurship comes, and it will come, you will have the tools, you will have the strategies to remain anchored, so that you may weather any storm, so that you may live your life of entrepreneurship fully aligned and fully from an unconditional mindset. And then plan. Figure out, well, how much money do you need in order for you to exit that job? How much money do you need to have in the bank in order for you to feel comfortable? So take the number for all of your expenses right now. If your expenses come up to $3,000 a month, add 25% on that and make that your number. Do you need to have, in order for you to feel comfortable, in order for you to feel secure making the leap, do you need to have 6 months of that in the bank? Do you need to have a year of that in the bank? So plan that out. Know your final number and save. Create a savings account so that you're saving automatically every single month. You're saving towards your dream. And start to sell. Practice your messaging. Start enrolling clients, right? Start enrolling clients from now. And I promise you, if you practice these 4 tips while you are currently employed, while your boss is your investor, you'll be ready. You'll be ready to fully leap into entrepreneurship with ease and grace, without the stress, without the worry, without the fear, without the overwhelm, because you'll have the tools to deal with it from the inside out, which is where success lives. So thank you for watching the show. I invite you to connect with me. Take out your phones. Well, if you're watching this on your phone, please like this video, comment, share. Follow us on the Dunn Wisdom Morning Show on Instagram as well as on Facebook, and stay connected. I have a Manifest 90 program starting in October 1st. So please, if you're interested, join the wait list. I would love to have you. I would love to support you on your journey to starting your dream life, to starting your dream business. Thank you again. And as always, I want to remind you, be kind and loving to yourself today. You deserve it. Be well, everyone.